to truly be self-aware, to truly say that you've evolved into someone who is a bit more self-aware about themselves, I genuinely feel that you need to apply the knowledge that you've gained in the self-discovery phase. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Temi. I share videos along the lines of self-development and personal improvement or personal development type content. So happy to have you here in this video because we are going to be talking about the power of self-awareness, why it matters for personal growth. So if this is something that you're interested in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the content with other people who are literally interested in their own personal growth journey. Let's get straight into the video. For a long time, I always talk about myself because at the end of the day, I have a lot of experience talking and conversing with other people and coaching other people. Also, I'm also on my own personal growth journey just with you guys. So yeah, for a long time, not that I wasn't aware of myself, but I didn't really understand the real kind of concept of self-awareness and why it's so essential for personal growth. I think a lot of the times we tend to see life from our own perspective, and we tend to see situations and circumstances from the lens of simply just ourselves. And I think the more that you kind of interact with people from different walks of life, from different ethnicities, different backgrounds, you begin to realize that other people have different perspectives on a matter. Other people have different ways of seeing a particular situation. Other people even have different ways of seeing you. Like, crazy, right? But other people literally have their own views on you. Not that you should care about what other people think or other people's opinions, but it just helps you to be aware that actually the world and how people see things is very, very different. I find that self-awareness has been essential to learning more about myself. How do I react to certain situations? How do I respond to certain situations? How do I feel in certain environments around certain particular people? When situations go my way, how do I feel versus when they don't go my way? And I find that the more self-aware I became, I began to build a life in a particular way that is informed by the information I'd learned about myself, because nobody can know you any better than you will know yourself. And if you're somebody who is wanting to get to know yourself a bit more, wanting to know how you really are, I think one of the ways that I really began to discover and understand myself a lot more was, number one, taking myself outside of my comfort zone. Like I said before, back in 2017, I think I said this in a previous video, I was in a really intense master's for 2 years. Those 2 years were fundamental. Like, I learned so much about myself, more than I think I've ever learned about myself in however many years before that. That was simply because I was taken outside of my comfort zone, but I was also put in situations that were new, that were, I had to adapt and I had to be flexible. And I began to learn so much about myself in just 2 years in that certain scenario. So I'd say definitely taking yourself outside of your comfort zone is one of them. I would also say learn new kind of skills and learn new creative pursuits. I think a lot of the times we actually learn a lot more about ourselves when we're doing creative things, which is like YouTube or social media, or even just different things that you wouldn't normally do. So for a long time, I was somebody who didn't go running, for example. And the moment I started running, I learned a bit more about myself. I became a bit more self-aware. So those are kind of like practical ways that you can discover more self-awareness or discover more about yourself, is actually putting yourself in new situations, new scenarios, uncomfortable situations from time to time, not all the time. Definitely not advocating for that all the time, like nobody needs to live that kind of life. But yeah, sometimes, putting yourself in uncomfortable situations and also exposing yourself to new creative outlets and pursuits as well can really help. The powerful thing about self-awareness is when you develop it, and I think there's, when it comes to self-awareness, it's something that we're always growing, we're always evolving, we're always changing. So like, you're always learning more and more about yourself. If you're not learning about yourself, then you're pretty much like, are you even alive? Are you, do you know what I mean? Like, if you're not learning about yourself, are you even here? So that's one of the things that I learned, in my kind of self-awareness journey or growth. And I think it goes hand in hand with personal growth, right? The more you grow, the more you become self-aware. The more you become self-aware, the more you're gonna develop more personal growth. So I think they both go hand in hand, and I think it is essential. Like, it's honestly essential to evolving, to your evolution, to your growth. Life is a series of journeys, both good and bad. And I think that when we discover more about ourselves and we tap into genuine self-awareness, we can honestly, we can literally become unstoppable, because the more you're aware of yourself, you begin to work towards your strengths as opposed to your weaknesses. You begin to be a coach to yourself, right? If you don't know what's affecting you, if you don't know how you feel in certain situations, both good and bad, you are kind of like a fish out of water. And I think the powerful thing about self-awareness is how you literally take your power back. The more self-aware you are, you know yourself, and that's a powerful thing in and of itself. I think a lot of people in today's generation, we think we know ourselves, but we might not actually know ourselves. And I think the more we begin to know ourselves, that's when, honestly, our life will change. You definitely become a lot more confident. I would say confidence isn't necessarily something that is loud and brash. I personally feel that true confidence is actually quiet and calm. I think the most confident people are probably not the loudest. And I feel like when you're more self-aware, you actually exhibit more quiet confidence. That's what I personally feel. Again, other people might have other kind of viewpoints, and if you do, drop me a comment down below. I'll be interested to hear your viewpoints and your perspectives on the matter. But this is just what I think, and my opinions and my views and my own experiences as well. I would say that true self-awareness is when you put into action the information that you've learned and uncovered about yourself. So for example, if I know that I'm good at a certain thing, or if I know that I need to maybe work on a certain area, I think that if you know that information about yourself, you're not really self-aware until you apply the information that you've learned about yourself in the self-discovery phase. And this is something that I teach actually in my sessions with people, and it's something that I have actually gone through myself. There is a journey towards self-awareness, and it starts with the self-discovery phase. In the self-discovery phase, it's just about, I suppose, acquiring knowledge about yourself or discovering things about yourself. But to truly be self-aware, to truly say that you've evolved into someone who is a bit more self-aware about themselves, I genuinely feel that you need to apply the knowledge that you've gained in the self-discovery phase into your life, into actual practical action, to claim that you're genuinely self-aware. This is just a short fire video on the topic of self-awareness. How can you grow? How can you develop yourself? How can you achieve your goals? How can you get to new heights in your life if you are not a genuinely self-aware person? And it's baffling. A lot of us might not actually be as self-aware as we claim or think we are. And I think self-awareness takes a significant level of introspection, going in deep into yourself and asking yourself uncomfortable, genuine questions and being truthful with yourself. If you can't be truthful with yourself, you might not actually get to a level of genuine, truthful self-awareness. And I think that it's a journey, just like everything in life, but it's something that is essential towards your personal growth. Well guys, we've come to the end of this video. I'm trying to keep my videos at around the 10-minute mark. It has been lovely seeing you and speaking with you in this video on self-awareness. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and of course share the content. And I'll see you again on the next video of the live series. Bye.